Recorded live in Morgantown, West by God, Virginia, and across the world, with your hosts, Kevin Jones, John Flowers, and our lovely co-host, Ashley. This is the Final Forecast Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Final Forecast featuring me, one of your co-hosts, Kevin Jones. I got my lovely co-host, Ashley, with me.
That's me.
Super producer Dave is also here. What's going on, Dave?
Not much.
Yeah, I see. Not getting invited to parties. Yeah. Our other co-host, John Flowers, is not here because he does not care about the podcast and he does not care about our growth as a unit. So it's okay.
To be fair, he did record a short little episode, 15 minutes of him talking about how drunk he got in Charleston and how he's still thinking he's 22. Yeah, we put that out the other day.
It's content.
And a live episode in Charleston, so I got to edit that one, but moving along.
I need to watch that. But we also got a special guest in the building today. WVU legend, football great, Owen Schmitt is in the building, man.
Yo.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by, spending some time with us today, Owen. Appreciate it.
Oh, yes.
Have we met? Have we met?
Huh?
Have we met before?
I can't really hear you over the applause.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. Yeah. Let me let that die down before I.
I'm so sorry. It was muted on my screen. I didn't know it was still playing. My bad. All right, Kev, you go start ahead.
I promise you, Owen, this is not our first time. I promise you, this is our first episode.
There was no
Oh,
applause.
Hey,
Just
listen,
no.
it's all good. I know all about the startup with the pop up. You know what I mean?
Nah, you good. I was asking. I said, have we ever met before? I'm not sure if we have ever met before.
I don't know if we ever have.
Yeah,
If it would have been
like a tailgate. Or
probably
something?
downtown with John,
downtown?
Probably.
Yeah.
With John. John would have been involved for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. But it's nice to meet you anyway, man. So what's been going on lately, man? How have you been?
Man, life has been going on. Grinding out at UPS right now. I'm an on-road supervisor there. I got a wonderful family of four, and just doing the dad thing. Been coaching some football too as well. I took this year off, but just because of work, it was kind of getting a little hard to do everything. You know what I mean? Right. So been doing that. Just came out with a book here, a children's book, a counting book to 10 for all those people that need to learn how to count to 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the young ones, that's what I've been up to. And as far as my life, that's kind of what it's been. It's been a whirlwind since Ashley and I's days, since the saloon. That was rocking and rolling for those times.
Dude.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Now it's family life and adult dad life.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's so crazy thinking about that now. Like, what's fatherhood been like for you? I mean, it's changed so much for everyone, right? Like, once you switch from like being back single and like not even being single, but like, doing what you need to do and what you love and like all the things, then it's like now it's family time. It's no longer solely about me. So it's different.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean, it's you still have all those feelings, you still want to go do your thing and do that too, but it's just there's always something just tugging at you, and that's the little heartstrings of the little ones, you know what I mean? And it's just it's almost like a more of a level up. In the book that Cassie and I co-wrote, that's kind of the story. And it's I grew up as a young boy having this dream, and you work your butt off to get there, and I get there and I don't feel fully enriched, when I get there. I feel like I should be, but I'm not, and then when you become a dad and you have a family, I think that's when your heart just finally gets full. And that's kind of like what is told in the story, that we came out with. So that's truly how I feel. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like you're searching in life for what your purpose is.
Hmm.
And then when you become a parent, you're like, oh, okay, this is exactly who I'm supposed to be.
So yeah, like I ended up not having kids. I still don't have children, which I don't know. I don't really want my own children. I might decide to adopt or like foster later on, but it just wasn't in the cards for me. But even just being more of an adult now with having friends with kids, my sisters having kids, like your life just changes a little bit, I think. And it's funny too that you mentioned having that dream and you reach it. Same thing with me in radio. I was happy but like still felt like something wasn't quite right. And then funny enough, now that I work with Damien at the stick company doing like branding, marketing, it actually fulfilled me a little bit more. So it's weird how life leads you down a path and then you kind of, the universe settles, for so to speak. So it's interesting.
Oh, absolutely. And everybody's, you know, we didn't, nobody's created the same, right? And that's what I think the journey of life is, my family's not the quintessential what I guess America would say is the perfect family, right? We're a blended
Right.
family, so it's that's what we're working with, but we're doing we're putting our full heart in it, just like I did passionately about
Right.
football. Um, and you can't play forever. You know what I mean? I can't play forever. My body, just wouldn't let me do that. And plus there's constraints. I am not the greatest football player in the world. Okay. You play your potential, right? So, and then they tell you, hey man, hey, you know what? I think it's just not working out anymore. But, no, yeah. So, and then, like I said, I'll revert back to a little bit. You guys can cut and copy whatever you got to do to make the deal work. But I was just kind of talking about my life, since Ashley and I had met at the saloon, and then going obviously, and that was my pro career before that, and now I work for UPS. I've coached some high school football down here at Greenbrier West, and that kind of like really gave me the fulfillment of just my
Mhm.
football days back again and being able to coach around the kids. And I'm a crazy coach. I mean, I'm a guy who's got to be very hands on. So I'm in there running
Right.
scout team just like I was back in the
Right.
day.
Right.
And just loving it, man, loving it, teaching on. I almost felt like I had such a great education in football, and then it was over with. And I almost felt like I wasn't doing society a justice by not sharing that knowledge with the youth, and kind of at least pushing that forward. And I had a conversation with my grandfather at one time. He was a coach for 36 years, and we were just basically talking about the love of the game. And he's like, "Why do you think I coached for 36 years after I was done playing? I just never fell out of love with it." And I think you just go through stages, and just like life, what I mean? You have your careers, and then this is my path now. I mean, I get to be a dad to four beautiful little hellions, and go
I
that
love
route.
it. What's it been like coaching for
What
you,
was
for like doing like the high school
oh,
thing? Like it's got to be different being on the opposite side of the ball, right? Like on the sidelines. It has to be a different whole other ball game, so to speak.
Yeah, it was, and it was like my first real, coaching experience. So I was still very, still am very active, workout, obviously, try to keep myself in shape because I had let myself go, so to speak, when I was running the saloon, because there just wasn't, time for
Hmm.
that. It was a full-time gig, so I kind of let my health slip, and then getting back into sports obviously let me, rejuvenate my health. I mean, I'm out running sprints with these kids. I'm running hills. We're doing conditioning workouts. Trying to show them like hard work and understand, that aspect of it, and then just trying to give the knowledge of the game. Going through the certain drills and the coaching points and the techniques that you learn. Kevin can talk on that a 1,000% through his entire career and journey. You just there's you learn stuff when you're a youth, you learn stuff in middle school, high school, you learn stuff in college, and then you learn stuff in the pros. And I just felt it would be a disservice to myself and to the football community if I didn't share that knowledge. So being on the other side, I had to learn a lot of things. My language barrier, I do talk with some profanity, so there was a dumb down. I kind of had to knock it down a couple bit. a couple notches there, but learn how to talk to kids, learn how to get to them. And I've had conversations with coaches. How do we relate with kids today? I think I have an advantage just because I did play, and they at least gave me that respect. But I'll give the same kind of theory on young athletes. It's hard to. I'm not going to say respect your coaches, but like that's so much of the world now is like, what have you done? What are your credentials? And kids want that peace of mind. Like, okay, I'm taking coaching from a guy who's been at the ultimate level. I can listen to what he's saying. Here's a quick example. We were playing Shady Springs, and Jacob Nutter. He played defensive end for us. This was 2 years ago, and he was on the state championship run team we had. And I was just teaching him a simple DN techniques, and it was a push-pull technique. And I said, hey, man, you really got to work on that push-pull. I was like, we've been working on it in practice, working on it in practice. Yeah, it's like 7 sacks that game. She's like, dude, coach, oh, my God, dude, the push-pull, man, it works. You know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, brother, you just got to use it. I won't lie to you. You know what I mean? Right. So it's been great, dude.
I was gonna say to that point, have you ever in coaching career, because you've had a great career, both collegiate and pro, so dealing with somebody at your position or just in the football and just in general, have you ever came across somebody that's like, all right, they have potential, but like they're just not getting the best out of their potential, and you just try to drag it out of them, but maybe they just don't have it in them, or they just don't have the talent that you had? And if that's the case, how frustrating was that, if you ever came across that before?
Man, there was 2 kids here at Greenbrier West that I thought could have been very good collegiate players, and I'm not talking about necessarily D1 players, but they could have kept playing,
Right.
whether D3, D2, and I wondered to myself, like, man, I loved football. Like, what was my drive? Like, why did I have the drive? To go through the Bar West workouts and to do these, the 5 a.m.s and the tour duties and this crazy stuff, and to push myself through when, even in the pros, when I started getting kind of frustrated with the game because I just wasn't playing as much, and like I wasn't like involved on the field like I had been, and my value was just, it's all about timing too. Like you have to be in the right place at the right time. The coaches need to understand what you're a tool, right? You're a tool, and they have to understand how to use you. If they don't, you're not valuable. If they do know, then then your worth is it can be the ceiling. I mean, as far as you can think. But there was 2 running backs actually that I worked with, and one of them that was on the one was one that I didn't coach, but I got to do some workouts with before his season. It just kind of, I didn't feel like I needed to call him all the time. If he wanted to be a part of it, he should have just showed up like I had offered. And then another kid was almost he was almost me. He was the same rockhead as I was. He was a tough runner, probably, tough, man. Like would run everybody over. I mean, he was on during football season, he was committed. He was into football, but like trying to get some of the training outside of football and show him that, hey man, this like the thing about football is you only get 4 years. Okay. And then after high school's over with, somebody might play a pickup game, but it's not the same. You're not throwing the pads on and playing the game again. Right. And I try to stress that to the kids as much as possible because I feel like this message is so hard to get to anybody anyways, but when it's over, it's over. It's never coming back. It's a breakup. Like I always say, football is, and I saw this quote, I don't know when, somewhere online, I believe, but it was, football is like a breakup that it's the breakup you've never had. It's like getting broke up by the person you first love, or you think you love. Like you'll just never get that feeling back. It just doesn't happen. And, I'm sure Kevin can attest to this. Like basketball was your love, you know what I mean? And it's still your
Right.
love. You know what I mean?
Right.
Football is still my love,
Right.
and you're still continuing on the journey and you're doing what you can for it, but it just doesn't, for me, it was over. And then it was like, okay, coaching at least gave me that same feel and passion.
Love that.
Right. I was gonna ask too because I feel like I'm close to retirement right now. I'm still playing,
I know,
thankfully.
yeah.
Yeah, but how weird was that feeling when you were like, all right, I gotta no matter how much I love this, I can't play. And I don't know if you were a guy that was just like, hey, if I can't play to the level I want to
I'm
play,
done.
then I'm just not gonna play anymore. I'm done. How was that realization that like, hey, this is, I can't go any far with this journey, and how long did it take for you to adjust to that new life?
So yeah, so it was my fifth year. I was with the Raiders. I ended up getting cut like week 16. Um, I have a tryout for the Bengals. It doesn't work out. I'm like, shit, man, it's over. You know what I mean? Whatever. Well, I'm out at one of my best friends from growing up, Billy Kennard. We're at his bachelor party, and I end up breaking I suffer a Jones fracture. I don't know if you know what that is, but
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
it's on the foot. It's on your foot. Like if this is your pinky, right? It was
Hmm.
like right here,
Oh, dang.
and it's a lot of doctors will say it's like a career ender for running back just because of how your feet work, and it's a slow recovering injury because there's not a lot of blood vessels that pass through the bone there, to send to heal. And at that time, I had some things going on, like the saloon was opening up, and uh, I wasn't really hearing anything from anybody. And then Sean McDermott took over Buffalo, and they had reached out to me, and I was like, man, my ankle or my foot's broken. Like I'm not gonna be. They're like, just come up, we'll do it. I was like, I can't even run. I can't do nothing.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it was like I just felt helpless to the point where I was like, you know what? I just there's nothing I
Yeah.
can do. And it wasn't I kind of like I feel I'm not going to say I regret like not like trying to get in shape and then trying to get another tryout but I was so hard-headed. I was like there was maybe opportunities in the Canadian League too and maybe a little bit lower or some arena stuff.
Hmm.
But like you had just said, it was like, I did what I did. Honestly, I really shouldn't even probably even played in the NFL. Like I was very fortunate to land in timing where, West Virginia, like, and we didn't know that at the
True.
time either. Like we blew up, but I had gotten great exposure. Obviously, Steve Slayton, he just got inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame. Like, I mean, that doesn't just happen to, average guys. I mean, he was a very special guy. You have Pat on too, Darius, and then I could go on. But we got great exposure, and I was fortunate because, there was a lot better players than me uh, before me, during me, after me. But there's that discipline factor where you show up, you work your
Hmm.
tail off, and that stuff kind of gives you the edge on some of that talent. And then sometimes the talent doesn't pan out because it's just maybe didn't have the best home life. It can't focus. It's not disciplined like that. So I was very fortunate to make it and play my 5 years, and I'm very thankful for that. But when I finally came to just kind of say, okay, it's over with. Uh, I was just caught in the middle, between a rock and a hard place, and I was like, I can't really compete right now because I'm broken. You know what I mean? I'm not healed, and I was also at the point where I was like, man, I just started this venture, and I know the bar business. Like, I will get cleaned out if I'm not really
Yeah.
there either. So it was like I was fighting a battle where I just I don't know. It was like I said. So it happened. I was not going to say bitter. I was maybe a little bit more mad at myself for kind of how it went down. And I've had opportunities to get back in the league as far as, they came and offered me a refereeing job. And, I kind of feel mad at myself for not taking that because it was like, man, maybe I should just let this go, because we were about a year or two into the saloon. It was like, maybe I should just let this, figure its way out and take this great career opportunity, because that, I'd have been able to reinvest in my 401k with the NFL, and my pension, my benefits would have added on and stacked and kept stacking. But, things work out for a reason. I don't know why they do, but they just kind of, they're crazy. Life is just crazy. And it's full of opportunities every day. Everything you do puts you on the
Mm-hmm.
path. You know what I mean? Every little either right or wrong mistake, however you want to look at it, you can look at them any way you want. But it's just kind of worked out for me like that. And now I'm here in this place where, I'm fortunate to be a dad to, some little ones, and coach some football on the side, which is still fills my heart full of joy. And really now it's like almost more of a challenge for me, because I know I can do it personally, but how do I get this mind? How do I get this young mind to believe in itself to the point where it can do it? You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean, it's funny that you bring up like, breaking or like getting the fracture in your toe and stuff. Sometimes you got to wonder, like, the universe just has a plan, and you're
Yeah.
down that path for a reason, just like you're on your path now. And it's, very much like your book, which, if anybody is curious to know, it's the Little Fullback That Could, which I love. The title of that is fantastic. Yes. And I love that the kids have
Nice.
Crocs in this
Nice.
photo, by the way, this cool like artwork on it. I was like, they're wearing Crocs. That's so funny. But yeah, like your journey, it's about the journey of your life. Like you said, it is a counting book. It is for kids. But also those of us that love Mountaineer Nation, I think this is going to be a great collector's item for people too, because this is something so unique. I haven't seen anybody else do something like this. And like I said, it is a counting book that takes you through the lifetime love of Owen Schmitt's football career, shares a few of his ups and downs along the way. And of course, it encourages number recognition for little learners while giving adult fans a few hidden, quote, Easter eggs, which I'm curious to know what those little Easter eggs are. So I'm going to be picking me up a copy. We do have an Amazon link in our show, so definitely check it out there. But like I said, we're hoping to get some physical copies, though. Fingers crossed. We'll keep everybody posted
Yeah,
on
I
that.
need one. Need
Yeah.
one of those. Yeah,
I'll send them out for
Sweet.
sure.
I'm excited about it.
sure. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
What inspired you to I know you say you have kids, so what inspired you to make this book now? Like was reading always something big for you, or just like was it just your kids that inspired you, or what made you write this book?
Reading is definitely, I can't read good. Okay.
Yeah. That's not something I don't think I would as a person who wants to get this book, I don't think I would that's the first thing I would
Yeah.
say.
No,
Yeah, I'm just
reading was never really something that I was per se into. This is, Cassie Shipe, who's my better half. She, along with some of her family members, Rachel and Josh Hendricks, they did all the illustrations for us. So they did all the artwork. They're West Virginia
Love
peeps.
it.
Their passion was illustration from the time they were young as well. So this really cool piece was some West Virginia backbone. But she is a pre-K teacher, and she was kind of like, hey, kind of just like hinting around at it and sort of pushing me, nudging me a little bit. And I said, well, I'm gonna need some help, obviously, and I joked, I can't read good, and and we, she really helped format the story. I gave the storyline, obviously, how I wanted the 10. Hey, we got 10 things, 10 pages. What do we put out there? And then she helped me with the rhyming and the lyrical aspect of it. And then Rachel and Josh, Mountaineer fans, Josh especially, and he like really got in depth with like I said, the Easter egg part. A lot of us right now, guys my age, or guys that watched me while when we were younger lads, we all have families now, so it's something that is a little bit different than a children's book. It's not just like the trains, planes, and jelly bears and all this, but it's a cool little insight. And there's just it's cool, cool inspirational things for kids as well. And like I said, it's my journey. Obviously, it's not anybody else's, so the story is unique. But it's just kind of I've felt thankful to have the blessings of athleticism and the life that I've had. And then to think that it was all over when football got done for me. And then to understand that, something my grandmother said a long time ago to me, she said, Owen, family is what life is all about. Whether it's a, family of your own, or, your brothers and sisters, your mom and dad, that's really what our lives are about. And that's really kind of what it culminates at the end of it. But awesome little book. It was so much fun to work on. And it was a really cool experience. I know there's been people who are like, "Hey, what's your next book gonna be?" I'm like, "Oh man, that was a real brain thumper for me, man. I'm had to pull something out here."
It's like, chill out. I got to recover.
I don't think I have a novel in me just
Yeah.
yet. Hang on.
Yeah. It's like,
I don't know. I think you have a true crime novel in you.
What was
I'm
that,
just
Dan?
going to throw that out there.
oh,
Just saying.
See, I went nice and I said, the friendly neighborhood delivery driver and all the people he meets along the way. And Ash was like, murder.
Murder is crazy. Hey, speaking of that, has anybody you ever dropped a package? I was like, hey, you Owen
That's a good
Schmitt.
question.
Is that
Oh,
has that ever happened?
hey, it happens a lot. And so I started my UPS career in Cumberland, Maryland. So I was actually a driver there for about 5-6 months, and then I took a management position here, in Beckley, and now it's like I'll be on the job with people, and they straight up they'll be like, "Dude, you're him, right?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm him.
Yeah,
They're like, "Oh, man, hey, let me go get my jersey real quick. I want to get it signed." You know what I mean? It's like, all right, hey, let me punch you out on lunch just to make sure the company knows where I'm at.
Not stealing company time.
Is that flattering?
Yeah,
or
don't want to steal company
embarrassing,
time.
or is it just like?
No, dude, it's. I say it like this: people will always ask me if it's annoying or does it bother me.
Right.
I will say, if I'm eating a meal and I'm like, about to, put the old fork in the mouth, sitting down, that bothers me a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, I'm the type of guy who'll sign everything you got, but I don't want to do it while I'm with my friends and family. And it's not anything against them. I understand the excitement in that, but just give me a little bit of time, and hey, give me the little, give me one of these guys or a wink, and I'll take care of you after we get up, pay the bill. But to be able to have shared the same memories
Yeah.
with people, but be in different different spots of the world at the same time, is something that I just think is really special. And the fact that people have said, "Man, you don't know how great you made our." It's just crazy. Like they're like, "You made our lives like during these times. Like you have no idea how happy we were as fans." So it's really a blessing to be able to have inspired people like that, and I think that's what kind of keeps my head on that even keel, so I don't just completely blow a gasket. Sometimes when I'm like trying to eat
It's
eat
okay,
food,
Kevin.
and somebody's like, "Hey man, slow this
It's okay.
over,
Kevin
Greg."
just get
Are you
recognized.
fucking kidding me right now?
Right.
Jesus.
Kevin, I'm sure I guarantee that's happened to Kevin, and he understands.
Oh yeah, I definitely know. But most of the times it's because they think I'm Deshaun, so it's fine.
Oh,
And sometimes I'll go along with it and be like, yeah, I'm Deshaun. So if you see me doing something crazy, Deshaun did it. Just remember that Deshaun did it, not
hey,
Kevin Jones.
that's so funny you say that. The offensive coordinator I work with, Isaac Osborne, here at Greenbrier West, he really doesn't look like me. He and I make fun of him, and I have no problem saying this on this show. He's a little bit larger than I am. Okay, I'm an XL. He's a triple X. But anyways, he has gone to some games with me, and people have said, "Oh my gosh, it's Owen Schmitt." They don't look at me; they look at him.
No.
Okay, and he
Yeah,
fully
that's crazy.
plays with it, dude. He fully goes with it. He'll be signing
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff, this and that, and And then I'll say, man, I can't believe these people think I'm such a fat piece of whatever, and I'm like joking with him, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, it's just funny.
You're like,
But
dang,
he
Owen
totally
really let
does.
himself go.
Yeah,
Gosh.
straight up, dude. Hey,
Nah,
straight up, like these people thought I.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's the
that's
difference with John, because John will run up to
yeah.
people to let him know
I've
he's
had
getting flowers.
I've I've had people convince me, swear up and down that I'm not me. Like I'm like, yeah, no, I'm Kevin Jones. I'm sorry, I'm not Deshaun. You're Deshaun. Why you? If you don't want to sign my autograph, just tell me you don't want. I'm like, I swear, I'm Kevin Jones.
Wow.
Yo,
Oh,
people
man.
will get mad because I'm like, I'm really me. Like I don't know what to tell
People
you.
are funny.
You
Man.
guys do have similar features. I will say you guys have similar features, but
I
I'm not gonna say
I think if
I
you're
know
around
who you
somebody long
are.
enough,
Hey, I know who you
yeah,
are.
you
I
start
know
looking
who he
like them.
is, though, and I'm
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. And I wore a headband and we played on the same team. Like I wore a headband, he didn't. Like it's so much things you could take that's like, all right, these guys aren't. I get it, but yeah, it was frustrating, but it doesn't happen as much now. It's funny
Yeah.
though.
Well, I think it's because when you were younger, too, you and
He's like,
Deshaun
damn, I
both
had to
had
change.
like a baby face when you were younger, so maybe that's what it
Yeah.
was more so than anything else.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. It got me
I mean, he
play with
still
some
has a
with
baby
some
He
face.
girls.
does.
So
Yeah.
I said, listen, I take it. I'll
He's like,
take
damn, I
it.
got to grow a
I'll
beard
take
now
it.
so I don't look like Deshaun.
Yeah. I, I've been trying. I can't grow a beard. I can't do
Dude,
it. So I just stopped. I gave
so
up.
crazy.
Hey, it's okay, man. At least yours is still like the actual color. I'm starting to get Santa Clausy here, dude.
If I start doing blonde highlights, though, and just so you know, that's it's like I'm gonna hide this
Yeah.
up in here. Oh, no one will ever know. Never know.
Hey, hey, Owen, I wanted to ask you, what did you think about this
Mm.
season? Like, about Rich Rod coming back and everything. And has anybody ever reached out to you for a position on the coaching staff, or what? Or would you take it
Yeah,
if they did?
yeah, they had reached out, and we had talked. It just wasn't there yet. And I think this season for me, I don't think people really understand how hard it is to try to change a culture uh,
Right.
when you've just brought in 80 new players 2.5 months ago. And, it's not the guys that they weren't there for the spring. You know what I mean? They didn't even really get a taste of really what was going on. And then, this team really had only been together for what, 5 months total, 6 months
Right.
total. Um, and on top of that, riddled with injury. Um, for me, I very much enjoy, and obviously I know a bunch of the guys on the staff. I've been there hanging out. I've been able to talk with them, chat with them. Coach Rod's got a straight up open door. And with Rashid and Pat, Noel, and Travis Trickett. Just those guys alone. I have a ton of areas that I can get a hold and ask questions about, or just kind of talk and whatever. And I think it was nice to see the improvement as far as the fight not leave, because that's what it could
Mhm.
have been really easy to get blown out in every game we played. And I'm not saying that we didn't. The last game against Texas Tech, I'm going to say right now, Texas Tech's got a very good chance to be a national champ this year. So that's to be expected. I wish we would have played a little bit better for the seniors, and it's tough to get burnt your last game ever. I know, if anyone knows about losing at Mountaineer Field their last game ever, and it being the worst one, I definitely do, against that 13-9 game against Pittsburgh. So, you know, and it was cool seeing some of the guys step up. But I mean, dude, you got you got your seventh string quarterback playing, your fifth, sixth, seventh running backs. The line's making constant change ups. You're riddled with injuries everywhere around the field. Um, it was you feel bad, but I know what's coming, right? I know what's coming. I know the work these kids are about to be putting in. I would say the same thing to this class as I'd say to the last one or the one before next. Hey, if you want to work and you want to better yourself and you want to become the best version of yourself, this is the spot for you. Okay, we will contend. We will. Yeah, that might be in another year or two. Hopefully next year, right? We come fight and we get better. I think, like I said, this year it could have been a little bit better. Maybe we didn't have as many injuries, but we did.
Yeah.
And I don't think Rich necessarily had every guy he had that he needed.
Yeah.
He went out and got a bunch of seniors because he needed a bunch of ball players, guys who had experience that they could at least somewhat, talent wise, they could at least see a little bit on the field from film, instead of just blindly going in and not knowing what's up. And now we have this package with, what we can spend with NIL. And I truly believe that, Coach Rod's best years are yet to come. I think he's learned a lot in his coaching career. Everybody makes mistakes. I mean, people want to say whatever they want to say. Look what's going on in Michigan right now. I mean, it's a total nightmare. You know what I mean? It's like,
Just
that's what I'm
about
saying.
this, like the text between Dave and I just now.
If you
God.
thought Rich Rod had
Like-
a bad,
it's a dumpster fire.
bad season, he
That's
was
what I mean,
apparently.
dude, like-
It just got reported he was allegedly DMing an OnlyFans model at halftime during the Ohio State game.
At
what
halftime
I
is
mean.
crazy.
Dude, like
He could wait.
Like, what the fuck?
the way he's married.
Puts things
I mean,
really puts things into perspective.
I mean, dude, the guy's got a beautiful life. He's got the world by the balls with, Michigan, and it's like, that's what I'm saying. Money just, I feel like money really just messes with people,
Yes.
and it truly does. It really does, man. And it's like they get to a certain point and they're like, oh man, nothing can touch me. And I'm not speaking for him. And I feel sorry for that situation. I really feel sorry for his wife and
Me
kids.
too. Yeah.
But it's, that can happen to anybody. It's just, like I said, life can be a dumpster fire for anybody at any given moment,
Facts.
so, but I think Rich has really, learned from his experiences, good and bad.
Mhm.
And I truly believe, you don't get a second chance like this to come back to the place that really, you made hay with and get an opportunity to really close the book. You know what I mean? I know so many fans were so upset when he left, but dude, you're talking $4 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's what, and that was 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Life changing money.
you know what I'm saying? And it's, I get it, man. There's loyalty and stuff like that, but you know what? Loyalty works both ways. The street's got two different ways, and we could have coughed up and ponied up for him too.
Yep.
It works both ways. But I'm just excited that, and we got a good staff, man, and we're gonna gather. It's gonna evolve. You know what I mean? It's going to evolve and it's going to get better. And I think we got the wheels turned in the right direction. I know it looked rough this year, but give it a little bit of time. We saw what happened the first go around with him. Mm-hmm. Now let's see what happens this year. This year will really solidify for me what improvements and adjustments needed to be made to start
Speaking of
the
first
run.
go round. Has
Agreed.
anyone in the group chat said that he might take the open Michigan head coaching job again?
That would be a crazy turn of events. He's there DMing the Michigan account during half. He's it comes out he's been DMing Michigan. No, I'm just messing.
Yeah, he just sends him, hey, how do you
You
like
up?
me now? Like,
Yeah.
He just
So,
he just
Yeah,
sees
the eyes
he
emoji
just
with the
sends
link to the
eyes.
news article,
He just
like,
sends the
what?
eyes,
yeah.
Run it back?
So what are we? What are we now?
so crazy.
Nah, but I feel like. Good. What did you say? What were you gonna say?
Oh no, Mike Barwis, like he had posted it on his social media, and I was just like, oh man, like just to keep bringing light to it, and I was just like, man, something had to be up, man. Who knows, man?
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
wild. I was gonna say with this landscape of like the NIL, like how do you feel about that? Because I was talking to people and I was like, NIL makes it hard for like coaching in general because now it's like you got to go out and get finished products already. There's no, I don't want to say there's no development, but there's people are not staying the same place 4 years. So you're coming in and essentially getting somebody else's talent who's already groomed to be what they're going to be already and just throwing them in your system and hoping it works out. So and a lot of times it doesn't. So like how do you feel about like the new like landscape of coaching with like NIL deal? And can you really be a coach like Rich Rod was back when you played and everything? Can you be that coach?
How can I say this? I'm going to talk a little bit about just the recruits and the
Hmm.
stars. Okay. So what is it? Rivals and there's two other sites that really give these kids like the recruitment stars. Okay. Well, they're not gonna give you any stars if you don't go to their camps. Okay. So you can be a boss and not have gone to these
Hmm.
camps. Okay. And you're flying under the radar. And I would say that almost kind of like how Pat and Steve were, you know what I mean? And I feel like Coach Rod and his staff really can look at players and they know exactly what they want to develop. They're going to have to look, we're going to be a developmental school regardless
Right.
because it's a major culture shock when you get to West Virginia, okay?
Mhm.
Regardless of wherever you've been, there's a standard that he's going to hold you to and you're going to end up developing a relationship with somebody that you might, it's a love hate and to the truest meaning ever.
Hmm.
Okay. You're going to
Mhm.
say, I effing hate this dude, but you know what? He makes me the best
Yeah.
me. He makes me work the hardest. You know, he doesn't let me slack. He doesn't cut me any bull crap. And you're going to start to see as a young man, this is, this is it. This is really what I need. If I want to become what I want to become, I need this. Now to the NIL part of it. Yeah, you're going to have to go out and buy talent every once in a while. And for him, you know, we kind of know like, hey, quarterbacks are going to be the talent,
Yeah.
you know, you kind of need to get. Um, that brings up another point. How much are we going to have in the talent in the NIL fund to be able to buy talent every year? You know, and like I feel like that's maybe where Rich is slightly under the eight ball because we didn't do well last
Hmm.
year and he's going to really have to do something this year to keep those bags full.
Yes.
And and I'm hoping they'll at least give him 1 to 2. Really, I'm hoping this year really you see the hard edge really truly come out. But it's got to be tough,
Yeah.
man. You talk about a young man, Kevin. I mean, first of all, I'm like, damn it, man! Like, where was this shit when we were playing? You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Oh, I don't even want to. I don't even want to talk about it.
And it's like, but
I don't even want
then,
to talk about it.
it's like, would have we stayed
That's a
together
good point.
if it was like this? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
would we,
Yeah.
would the team have stayed together? I don't know. Maybe it would have, maybe
Yeah.
it would have, maybe it wouldn't have. It's hard to say that somebody would have came and said, hey, Pat, here's $8 million. Hey, Steve, here's $8 million, $10 million.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
Is West Virginia gonna be able to even, you know, be able to even like
Compete with
pay
that.
that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
With
Come
two
close to it.
guys,
Yeah. Come
and
close to it.
most of your bag's
And
half empty now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or half
yeah.
full, however you want to look at it. But so it's hard to really, you know, to understand. But I think with what they got, because I've seen people like say, "Oh, what is West Virginia's got a top 20 recruiting class, but they got 47 3 stars." Like I said about these stupid 3 star craps, like it doesn't mean jack.
Hmm.
Okay,
No.
what they see in talent is different than what somebody at Georgia
Right.
sees. Okay, or Alabama sees. It's not the same. They're looking for tough kids. Okay, those aren't necessarily the kids, and they might be a little bit short or maybe a little bit, slower on the 40 or maybe, but they're strong kids. Their coaches tell them, hey, look, he is willing to run through the wall for you. Those are the kids that we're going to get.
Yeah.
And then we're going to develop them into, the thing for me is like, I hope the ones that we get developed and those kids that we turn into monsters stay at West Virginia as monsters.
That's the other part of it.
Thing. I don't want to be a feeder school
Right.
for all this other crap,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's hard to, and that's his messaging. How do I get these kids to say that want to build a championship and play on a championship team instead of just going out and trying to get the money?
That's it.
Like,
I mean, I would take the money
tough,
100%.
man.
So
Yeah, it's definitely easier said.
yeah, I mean,
Dave.
but Dave,
It's
hey,
definitely
look,
easier said than done.
It's 100% because look, these are I mean, I'm not even trying to say this in a bad way. They're uneducated kids about money. They don't understand that, hey, $1 million is really $500,000, okay? Because taxes are going to be taken out. And then guess what? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry that you know, from family to foe, is going to be, hey, man, hey, where's you got? Hey, I know you got some,
Yep.
And Kevin, you know that from just playing. And you're gonna have to, gotta have a strong mind, dude. Yeah, and I've been burned too.
Yeah.
And you gotta have a strong mind, and hopefully have a good support system in the back end. Because I'll say this, a kid that makes $10 million, let's say in college, or $5 million. Hey, buddy, if you just invest that properly,
Yes.
if you, I mean, you're set for life.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I really be upset at a kid who goes and tries to get his bags full and is understanding the money situation early on and how that can set you up for life after sports, where you might not even have to go to the pros?
Right. But you make a good point, though, Owen. I mean, I don't know if we're back to recording or not, but just as a side note, that's an interesting concept because, yes, most kids, and even I think all of us can say this, going from high school into college, how many of us even understood fiscal responsibility? Nobody. If I made that kind of money at 18, 19 years old, I would have done the dumbest shit with it. It's not even, like, it's wild. I hope that they're educating these people on money because they need to understand.
You would have. You're a kid. You don't, unless your parents and which one of our parents was like, hey, man, you need to invest. They're like, hey, put it in a savings account, man. What the hell's a that does nothing for you.
I think we just discovered the next children's book.
Yeah.
Like, it does not.
So true.
Yeah.
The little fullback with his IRA.
Might be on to something.
Hey, Dave, I'll get you that $60 back that Kevin's got. That he owes
Pull back on IRA.
Yeah. You get on the kickback on the interest.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think mandatory classes should come with the money, like some kind of take a certain amount of hour business classes to invest your money and think about that, because they're setting these kids up for failure. Ultimately, you're giving them all this money and you're not showing them how to use it or what to do with it, and you're setting them up for failure.
Dude, premium wealth management, that would almost be part of my pitch trying to get a kid to school. Like, legit, hey, we have investors right now that will take this money. If you want portions of it, we can give you stipends. We can give you just small bits of it, which is really how it should be anyways. You know what I mean? And then, hey, you have 3 packages that you can choose from. And this one ultimately at the end of it is going to save you the most and make you the most at the end. So when you turn 30, bro, you ain't ever working again. You're just kind of collecting your checks.
That's it.
And enjoy living your
The
life.
irony being we have a financial advisor co-host who isn't here.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's what John does. Honestly, that would be a really good partnership with the university, offering those investment services as a part of the NIL deals and everything else. Like, that would be brilliant.
I think he
And
did.
right now
He
it's
was
the Wild
talking
West,
with the
man.
basketball team or something.
Is it?
Didn't he have some couple talks with the basketball team?
I don't think he did
No,
with
he
the
did like a-
university,
he did
though. I
like
think
a
he
thing
reached out to
inside
those
the
kids
stadium,
directly.
yeah.
I don't know.
No, I
that
think it was like a
was
team
more
thing.
a case of,
It
hey,
was a
I'm
team
John,
thing,
give me your
yeah.
money.
Oh, was
Or
it?
was it a, hey, I'm
Okay,
John,
well.
this is how you do your stuff?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm
don't
going to give you this advice for a small fee in the fine print.
For a
My username's
small fee.
JFlow41. The 41% stands for the commission I'm getting on your money.
Bro.
Hey, but we laugh
Bro.
about that.
So
Here,
true.
I'll say this. Right now, there's kids out there getting smashed by these agents that are charging them 30%. Bro, and they're not even
Dude.
certified agents. That's Kevin, you know this,
Wait,
man. I'm
what?
telling you, these kids are getting waxed,
Yeah.
bro.
That
And
that's why I'm
Who
glad
are
I've
those
only had one
people? Are
agent
they
my
just
whole
randos?
entire career, so yeah, I've never had to
and
deal with that.
Are they?
good. And it's a good thing you made a
Yeah.
smart decision. And think of that decision you made when you were basically a kid. You know, what I mean, you
Right.
had to trust that guy.
That comes back to my other point because my I think a lot of this responsibility falls on the parents as well, or older
Yes.
guidance that's around the kids, that it's like, hey, no, you're not gonna, we are gonna sit in on these meetings and see where you could get the most money at, but also who's offering these classes, like you said, that could help you in the future. Because my older brother, he was the one there for me, through the recruiting process and through picking an agent and everything like that. So I had somebody guiding me who was older and who, kind of talked me out of some dumb stuff I might have did. It seems like the parents are, well, I don't want to speak for the parents, but it seems like a lot of people are not having the guidance pushing these people in
That's
the
it.
right direction. They're looking at the money as much as the kids are. You know what I mean? And that shouldn't be the case.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down, because guess what? Now every parent in the world thinks their kid's going to be a D1 player and make a huge bag of money.
That's
It's like,
so true.
and I see it in the youth world. I'm fortunate that we live in a small community, so we're single A. We're the smallest of the small, and but I've been to bigger venues with where every parent is like, dude, I'm telling you right now, it's you can push your kid to do whatever you think that he needs to do it, but unless he truly loves the entire process, those are the kids that are going to make it. The ones that love to practice.
Yep.
The ones that love to do the stuff that's not on camera. You know what I mean? And like almost not even when people are watching, like the film study. I mean, the recovery stuff, the nutrition, you know what I mean? Those are the kids that will make it. And that's something that parents can do without having to push, but lead by example. And I mean, that's probably the best way you could really, and I mean, and that's my opinion, obviously. This isn't financial advice, but but that's legit. I mean, you run into that as well. So it's crazy times right now for sports. I am happy that the kids are getting paid, I guess, but at the same time, what dynamic is that, Kevin, when your linemen are making $75,000 a year and the quarterback's making $1 million a year? Hey, bro, you piss me off, and I'm doing an Olay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could easily be the case. And also, I think it's also cool too, because I feel like we were played in a time where it's like you built brotherhoods, you built bonds that'll last forever. And with this current state, you're leaving a school every year, you're making a new teammate every year.
Nothing.
You have no bonds. You just a hired gun at that point. You know what I mean? So we did have those bonds and those brotherhoods that's going to be forever. And I think sometimes, I won't say it's worth more than money, but it's right up there though.
But also, it builds good teams.
Yeah.
Think about that. You were on a Final Four team. Owen almost went to a national championship. You guys have that in common, and it's like because it took time to build that brotherhood, right? And that trusting, everybody on your team, and we're all in this together. All those things. I kind of worry about the future for collegiate sports because of that. Like, you can't just expect to put a bunch of superstars on a team and expect it to just work.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's going to sustain itself long term.
Well, and guess what? That'll
I really
work,
don't.
here and there. You're going to have some teams that, here and there it's going to work out. But, no, Kevin, you're exactly right. You're not going to form the bond, right? You're not going to form the bond, and then and those are relationships that last a lifetime, man. They're invaluable, right? There's no real money that could be put on that stuff. And then here's another thing I want you to think about. What is that teaching a kid when he has to go get a job? Well, hey, dude, I'm just not happy here. I'm going to go to the next one. Buddy, it don't work like that when you go to the real world.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
you can't just keep jumping ship. They're going to be like, dude, your resume is like 6 pages long. It should not be that long. What, like,
Yeah.
we,
People look for loyalty.
yeah,
not
we want to see a little
job
bit of
hoppers.
sustainability here, man.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah,
to
it's
think
crazy.
about it,
Wow.
and yeah. So who knows? Actually, like to your point, the state of college football, the state of college athletics in general, who knows where it's going to be at?
Yeah.
It's so much the Wild West still. Like, in my opinion, they're at least probably 5-10 years out still by getting anything really solidified.
For sure.
I think it's still until they do
Agreed.
some sort of, players union. That's when stuff will start to get binding, and you'll see more contractual stuff, and it'll get a little more.
Yeah.
It'll basically be baby NFL.
Organized.
And
Yeah.
also to that point that you brought up that point, I would like to see that a guy, like you said, people sometimes poach talent. Sometimes you're like, all right, we built this guy up, and then now some bigger school is going to take him away. It's like, I would like to see a contract where it's like you can't leave or whatever. Like, you have to, it's some kind of loyalty to it, because now it's like you're putting the school in a bad situation, or you're jumping ship on something where these guys help develop you to get to where you are. I would like to see some kind of give and take on that as well, where you can't just up and leave, and now it's like, all right, what are we going to do? This guy, our
For sure.
our
Coaches
guy
have
just
buyouts,
left
why
us
shouldn't
because there was
players?
just more money out there.
Exactly, just like the buyouts in coaching, dude. Hey, we're not paying you the $2 million we owe you. The school that wants you is gonna give us $2 million, and then we're gonna release you to them. I mean,
Yep.
100%. That's gonna make it a little more even too.
Yep.
Right. No, I agree.
I agree.
I agree. Hopefully they figure it out, because, like you said, it's the wild, wild west right now, and it's not good ultimately for college sports or just for their life in general in the future. It's just not setting a good example. So yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
But also, I'm sure, Owen, you probably talk about this all the time because you also have a podcast as well, right?
Yep.
There you
Yep.
go.
ITG, baby.
In the
yeah,
Can I ask,
in the
does
gun.
Wes not give you a proper
Yeah.
microphone?
Nice.
Wes,
I know that
Aw,
Book Exchange
Dave.
sponsorship. You guys can afford a
Dave
is
microphone.
what-
Let's
microphone,
go.
stickler.
Let's get a real one.
well, I will get a
Got
real
Jen on there,
microphone. See, Jed holds out until Christmas, so like
Is that-
I'll get my goodie. I'll get my little goodie, my payday, and then I'll go buy my equipment. So
There you go.
yeah. I'm due for a full makeover. We're getting Starlink. I told Cassie, I was like, look, dude, I gotta get Starlink. I gotta get some real equipment here. Like we've just, we're not in the big leagues, but we're like, hey, we've done 300 podcasts. It's probably time that I get some actual equipment.
Starlink is
Right.
life changing, but if you can talk about your podcast from the beginning, explain what it is, and I'll do a nice clean cut where I didn't interrupt.
No, you're good. I like the messy cuts, anyways. You know what I mean? It's more live, more real life. No, in the gun, Jed,
Real.
Wes, and Schuler were four knuckleheads. But obviously, the key around it is Jed and myself played for Rich. What's funny is
Okay.
Rich did not coach at West Virginia when we had started this podcast. So this was just something that we started around
Wow.
before Rich got back. And we called it In the Gun because that's what, Jed and I spent most of our time as far as the, lining up in our, the offensive backfields. We spent most of our time in the gun. That's kind of where the name came from. Wes is a WVU grad, and he works in Pittsburgh radio for the Steelers as well. Talented young man. Schuler as well, talented. He does all the graphics. He really brought our show to like actual the 21st century, so we don't just look like a Zoom podcast, like a grandma. We're in grandma's kitchen doing a podcast, and Jed's really the mastermind. I'm just kind of the brute force that has played the game, and I give a player's perspective. But Jed really knows X's and O's it almost hurts my brain because he's just so talented with the football knowledge. It's really incredible. But yeah, though there I am right there. I've been fortunate enough to be on the McAfee show before that Penn State game. That's with my good buddy Pat White as well. That was a rocking show, by the way. Hey, Pat McAfee knows how to bring a crowd, dude. Okay, that man has been.
Listen, props to that man. He's amazing. I love him. Like everything about.
We talk about the NIL. He is the secret weapon for us. Like he makes us relevant when we are not relevant. You know what I mean? He will throw us in there all the time, and kids want to be talked about. They want to be on the Pat McAfee show, dude.
Yeah.
And that's an invaluable amount of money right there that, his time, his donations, he doesn't have to do that. He's on his own now. And I'm sure he catches hell for sometimes maybe over publicizing WVU, but kudos to him. He's had a great career. I mean, he's getting to start a family now. I mean, he's a very wealthy man in all aspects of life. And I'm very, very happy and proud of him.
Amen.
That's dope. That's dope.
He's a real one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. Well, I think we're about to wrap this up soon. Dave's saying he's hungry and he doesn't want to hear anybody anymore. So that was another episode of Final Forecast featuring me, one of your co-hosts, Kevin Jones, my lovely co-host, Ashley.
That's me.
Super producer, Dave. And WVU football legend, Owen Schmitt. Thank you for coming by again, man. Everybody, go out, get the book. Was it the little fullback that could, man? It's on Amazon and where else is it at?
We can work a deal out with the book exchange.
Let's go. Let's do it. Dave has all the power, so go. You can tell Dave, and he'll do it for you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks for coming by.